welcome back to my channel. I was just thinking a little bit about patterns that I repeat in my life. Lately, I've been trying to make a lot of changes, and I've been more involved with my church and had like a big focus on God, but I wasn't always that way. I mean, if you saw where I was at my lowest till now, it's like night and day. And there will be a time when I get into that, but for now it's just sort of something, it's kind of personal. But if I ever feel comfortable enough, I'll share more about some of the struggles I've had in my life. But for the most part, I've been doing really good, and I've had a lot of things come at me lately, and I met up with an old friend tonight for dinner. He's a guy friend of mine. I've known him since literally elementary school. We've been friends since we were probably 12. He knows a lot about me. I know a lot about him. We've gone years without talking sometimes, but we have the type of connection where it's really easy just to jump right back in. It's like no time was lost. We make each other laugh, we give each other advice. And I recently made a video about swearing and how I was trying not to swear. As silly as that sounds, like, I really feel like if I'm going to become this spiritual person, I need to talk, walk, and act like that all throughout my day. And swearing to me is just like a dirty, ugly form of language, but it is such a pattern for me. Like, it's like such a bad habit. And I noticed that when I sat down to talk to him, he reminds me of like so many times in my life. And we've never really had bad times together, but he's seen me at low times. And back when I was in these dark spaces, so to speak, you didn't always know I was in a bad place. A lot of times I was just like a fun party girl, okay? You didn't know that I was like dying inside and I hated myself, or maybe you did, but it's not like I went around just crying and being like, I hate my life, like everything sucks. Like, it was more so like I was constantly numbing myself, whether with all sorts of things. And so I used to play this role as like the fun party girl, and I liked to be that girl that like could outdrink the guys, and I'd have like a dirty mouth. I would crack jokes. I could make guys laugh. You know what I mean? And that made me feel good. For whatever reason, that was like feeding something inside of me. I've noticed throughout my life that I've sort of always wanted male attention, and it wasn't so much in a way when I was younger, where it was like I wanted boyfriends and guys to like me. It was like I wanted to be one of the guys. For the most part, I did have a lot of fun, but it didn't end up being fun in the end. Regardless, I've had so many patterns in my life that I was like unable to break. So when I sat down with my friend for dinner, okay, I immediately go back into that girl. Not immediately. And like, this friend is a very, very good influence on me. He wants nothing but the best for me. He didn't, you know what I mean? He would put me in my place if I was like doing things that he thought was unhealthy or whatever. He wouldn't hold back, put it that way, you know what I mean? Like, he would tell me things for my own good. But I started to be that like crass girl, and I start swearing like every 5 minutes. I'd be like effing this and be this and mother, and then I even like every time I said a swear word, I sort of was like and like it sounds so dumb, you know what I mean? And but it was like I was like, it felt very natural in one way, but in the other way it was like, Dina, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Stop it. Just stop it. Like you don't need to talk like this to communicate. There's other ways to talk, you know what I mean? But I don't really know how to. I've used that character, and it wasn't always a character. Like, that really is who I am. I'm like a funny, crass, kind of harsh girl, and that's always sort of been who I am. And I want to use that boldness to, like, for really good positive things, like lead people in healthy directions and make them laugh and keep things light. And I mean, that's part of why I do this channel, you know what I mean, to like try and relate to people and be straightforward. But yeah, so I even said to him, like, I just made this video about swearing and I can't stop swearing, and I swear it's because you just remind me of like the old Dina. And he sort of looked like, and I was like, no, not like in a bad way. Like, you're not, you know what I mean? It's just like when I'm around people from my past, I feel like I have to act like that person. And it's, I know he would accept me no matter what. And it's really within me. It has nothing to do with him or anybody else. But, yeah, so then I started to think about like other patterns that I've had. And, you know, I've always gotten into really like toxic relationships with men. I've always dated like bad boys, so to speak. I know it just sounds super corny, but like I really don't know how else to explain them to like the masses. Like, that's how you would categorize them. I'm always trying to like fix them, or I think for some reason like I'm so amazing, like they'll change for me even though they cheat on every other girl they've ever been with, you know what I mean? And it ends in heartbreak. I end up so crushed, and just my whole world surrounds around them, and then it gets like crushed, you know what I mean? And then I get so upset and take it so personally. And, you know, I've done that my whole life. It's been this like roller coaster ride to hell, just up and down, back and forth. And you know, it's like it doesn't need to be that way, but like, I don't know. I've talked to people about it several times, and I've sort of mentioned, I think it's because of the relationship with my dad, but I'm not sure. And like my pastor said to me, like, Dina, it's one thing to know like where it stems from, but like, what are you actively doing to change it? What choices are you making for your life, you know? And I've mentioned this before, but like, I'm 37 years old. I'm a single mom. I've never been married, and you know, that's fine, but it's like I've never been with anybody that I should have married. Do you know what I mean? And like, no offense to any of my exes, they could all grow and be very great people right now, but our relationship that we had was not marriage material, and it would have been a bad, toxic thing. So like, you know, I've also noticed that like at times, like, I will let things go in terms of like an argument I had with someone where my feelings were hurt, or I had an expectation and someone let me down. And, you know, really big things that really hurt me like hard, you know? And then I'll let it go, and I'll sort of block it out and forget it, and like think that I've forgiven them. But then like I'll start to think about it again, like a couple months later, a week later, 2 years later, 4 months later, just any amount of time. It does not matter. But if I think about it and it hits me, and like, and I'm not like have my spiritual armor on, and I'm not like connected with God, if it hits me in the wrong way, I get mad all over again. Maybe not to the extent that like it first hit me, but it'll just set me off and like take me to this like dark place, and then my mind travels, and I start to think about this thing, and then that thing, and then this thing, and then before I know it, you know, I'm like short-tempered with my daughter, and it's like, she's like, what did I do? You know what I mean? And it's because I'm thinking about all of these things that I've supposedly let go. And I know that that's just like something evil trying to like attack me. Like, not like actually attack me, but like, I believe that there's like darkness and light, and there's heaven and hell, and there's God and the devil. And that's just what I believe. And I feel like the devil tries to attack me through my mind on a regular basis. You know what I mean? Like, I logically want the best for myself and everyone around me. But I will be sitting there one day, and all of a sudden it's like I get a thought, and it leads to another thought, and then I get a feeling, and then there's an action after that feeling, and it's just this like snowball effect. And then whatever action I take is usually an unhealthy or an angry or a spiteful, or you know what I mean, just something that I shouldn't be doing. And like, now I know when I feel that way and I start to like feel my adrenaline going and I'm starting to get mad, like I start to pray, and it doesn't always go away. I have to keep praying. I read my Bible. I try to look up things that have to do with what I'm mad about. And it works. Like, God will remove those feelings from you, but it's not like, when you drink a beer and it's just like, it takes a lot of work, and you have to like, it's like going with, I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to say, like when you're going against like a tide, like a flowing of water, like walking uphill on a mountain. Like, it's just hard, you know what I mean? And I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you get the idea. It's difficult. It doesn't come naturally. It's not going to feel good. You have to do it more than once. You know what I mean? And it's not an easy fix. I like easy fixes. I like instant gratification. You know what I mean? When I want McDonald's at 2 a.m., I get up and go get it. Like, that's unhealthy and weird. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, so I was just thinking about patterns in my life, and like how it's so difficult to break certain ones, and how do these patterns form, and like, why can't we just break them? You know what I mean? Why does it take so much work, and why when you think they go away, they come back? You know what I mean? But yeah, so I was just thinking about that, and if you guys have any experiences with anything like this, just comment below, and I would love to hear what you have to say. But I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.